Premier League Weekly Podcast. Each week we will be discussing recent and upcoming football games. Hello, you are listening to the Premier League Weekly Podcast with your host, Luke Curtis. This week we are joined by Keegan. You alright, Keegan? How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, cheers, mate. Coming up, Chelsea beat Crystal Palace. Everton put 4 past Brighton. West Ham surprisingly beat Leicester. Manchester United fell apart against Tottenham. All this and more. First up, Aston Villa Liverpool finished 7-2 to Aston Villa. Before the game, Sadio Mane and Thiago self-isolating after testing positive for coronavirus.
Didn't really think that they'd do too much of the game. I mean, Thiago, Mane, goal scorer, Thiago getting a few of the assists, but I just think Villa tore them apart. Yeah,
from the start really. 4th minute, Ollie Watkins scored after some poor play from Adrian, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, well, putting him in there was a bit of a risk. Obviously, there's not much they could do about that.
No, was it training he got injured in?
Yeah, training's out for 6 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, 6 weeks.
That's unlucky, isn't it? Salah went down for a penalty shout. Bit weak, really.
Very weak.
I didn't think it was a penalty. He loves going down, doesn't he, Salah? He's a good player, but he hits the deck far too much.
He's a very good player, very good finisher, but with a lot of the players nowadays just fall down looking for these penalties, it just sort of ruins their game a bit.
Yeah. Firmino had 2 good chances that Martinez saved both. He looks like a good signing for Villa, doesn't he, Martinez?
Martinez, very, very good keeper. From the people that watched him before he's gone there, he was very unlucky to get number 1 goalkeeper space, but very, very good goalkeeper. He'll do very well for them. Should Arsenal have let him go? I think Arsenal were right to let him go. I think Arsenal can attract bigger goalkeepers than that. But for the likes of Villa, it's a very good signing, but potentially putting them further up the table.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Watkins then scored his 2nd goal. Top corner, great finish.
Watkins, just saying about Martinez, they've made a few good signings, Aston Villa. Watkins being one of them. They lost out on Wilson. They was trying to get Wilson.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
Yeah, but I say they've got Watkins and it looks like they've come good.
Yeah.
I say it was his first goal, but I say he's got a hat-trick. Probably getting him on his way now.
Yeah, I was surprised how quick he got into the league, really. I know he was in the Championship last year with Brentford, but I didn't realise he's as good as he was.
Yeah, very good player. Very good player in the Championship. Not just up front, bit of a team player as well. He likes to drop back a bit, like you see in the Liverpool game. He defensive shift, runs up and also score the goals. Bit of an all-rounder. Yeah.
Then Salah scored after a bit of you could say poor defending from Villa, but they just played it across and Salah put it in the bottom corner. And then McGinn scores with one of a number of deflected goals for 3-0.
Yeah.
It was the deflection took a lot away from the game, really. It was just every goal was nearly deflected.
I was about to say the luck was a bit against them, weren't it?
Yeah.
Not much you can do with them.
Watkins gets his hat-trick. Where was the Liverpool defence? Was it a corner? It was crossed in, knocked on, and then there was 3 Villa players all went for the ball, and all the Liverpool players just stood there and watched.
I say any one of them could have had that.
Yeah.
Any one of them could have had that.
Yeah, it was awful.
Considering that Van Dijk was meant to be the best defender last season, Grealish putting it through his legs, turning him twice, putting it through his legs.
Oh yeah, that was
to get the goal.
That was great, wasn't it? I love seeing that. Just because I love a nutmeg myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You got to love a meg, ain't you? Gomez for me had a bit of a shocker, really, didn't he? He gave the ball away for Barkley's goal. Took a bit of deflection, winning, but Gomez had a really poor game.
Gomez just wasn't even on the pitch.
Yeah.
You could have just took him off when you wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah, to be fair, it's true. Salah then scored his 2nd and Liverpool's 2nd, where sort of bottom corner again, but it was a nice finish. It was
a lovely finish. He's always going to find that them sort of give him that sort of opportunity. 9 times out of 10, he's going to score it.
Yeah, definitely. He's a top player. And then Jack Grealish, another deflected goal. Not a lot really to say about that.
You can't when the luck's against you like that. You can't do much.
Yeah. And then Watkins went 1-on-1 with Adrian. Adrian saved it with his feet. Probably should have scored for his 4th.
Yeah, I think he should have easily scored that. He could have put it either side of him. He's just sort of bottled it at the end, I think.
It's one of them where you think, if that was me, I'd have buried that in the bottom corner.
It's lack of experience as well, though.
Yeah.
So his confidence, obviously he's got the 3 goals, but his confidence can only grow now.
Yeah. And then Grealish went 1-on-1 with the keeper and showed Watkins how to do it, didn't he?
Yeah, Grealish is a very good player. being picked for the England squad, I think that was the right decision. A lot of people didn't really like it.
I think he personally, I think he should have been in a while ago. I think he's a decent player, Jack Grealish.
Yeah, he's very, very decent. Obviously, everything that's went on, the controversial with all the drink driving and everything like that.
Yeah.
Everyone sort of slated him for it, but he's come out and proven himself.
Yeah. And then Watkins late on hits the bar. He could have had 5 goals. Weren't to be. Apart from maybe Salah, Liverpool were pretty piss poor.
I think they were poor all over.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get going.
Yeah, I don't know whether they went into that game thinking it's only Villa. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if they had that attitude, because I can't remember the last time I've seen Liverpool play that bad. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen Liverpool play that bad.
Looks a bit too complacent to me. Like you just said, they've gone into thinking, it's Villa. Probably get an easy 3 points here.
Yeah.
But Villa turn up.
What do you think to Villa?
I think in that game especially, they look very dangerous.
Yeah.
If they can keep that up, not only because it was against Liverpool, and I know a lot of people are saying it was a bit of luck went their way, but the way they played, passing it around, getting back, working as a team, looked very dangerous.
Yeah, I thought Villa played pretty well, to be fair. Next up, Manchester United against Spurs at Old Trafford. Finished 6-1 Spurs.
Yeah, well,
you've got to love that scoreline, ain't you? If you obviously, unless you're a United fan.
Love or hate it. This game, Man United, from the get-go, from start of the season, there's just something about their team. They just don't look like they can get going. Physicality, stamina, team performance.
Do you think they're not playing for the manager? A lot of when you see like Mourinho when he was at Chelsea,
yeah,
and Pochettino when he was at Spurs, they sort of, when they lose the dressing room, players don't play for the manager.
Yeah, they stop playing to their ability. Yeah.
So do you think they're doing that, or do you think they're just shocking this season?
I just think they're shocking this season. I just don't think they can get going. But Man United have times like that. Like last season, they had a big part of the season where they were just on a downfall, and then they turned it around, and they managed to get themselves back into the top 4, like that.
Will they turn it around?
I don't know. They've just signed Cavani, so Cavani and Telles, they need a centre back.
Yeah,
they're 2 centre backs.
I think they need a couple of centre backs. Maguire needs sending back to Greece, doesn't he?
Maguire, he's been very poor. I'm surprised that he's still in the England squad and he's still been kept in the Man United squad.
Yeah, he was awful. Well, Sanchez gave a penalty away in about 28 seconds by taking out Martial. But I don't know why he'd done it, because Martial weren't going anywhere, I don't think.
No,
from the angle he was at, he weren't going to do nothing, was he? And there wasn't no one up there with him. So it was a pretty poor challenge by Sanchez. And then when Fernandes steps up, you always know that he's going to score, because he's king of penalties, isn't he?
The way he takes his penalties is ridiculous, but somehow he scores them.
Yeah. If I tried that, I'd fall over.
I think everyone would, apart from him.
And then the 4th minute, Ndombele scores after a poor header back from Harry Maguire.
Yeah, I mean, there was 2 headers in that. Harry Maguire, he tried heading it back to the keeper, and then he's tried heading it again afterwards, and he's pulled down his own player. Yeah,
he pulled down Luke Shaw, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably one of the easiest goals Ndombele will probably score of his career, but it was just shocking defence for United. And even for the second goal, Maguire fouls Kane, and then they're not even looking what he's doing. He gets up and plays a great through ball to Son, but there's 3 players there.
Yeah.
And if you look at the replay of it, after he's kicked it, Wan-Bissaka then puts his foot out to try and stop it, but the ball's already gone through.
Yeah, the ball's already gone, yeah.
I don't know what he was doing. And then obviously Son just dinks it over De Gea.
Yes, I mean, Son, I wouldn't be surprised if he's up there with the top assists and top scorers this season, with Kane putting in the assist. Kane's liking to put in the shift work for the team. At the end of last season, he's not just sort of looking at the goals anymore.
Yeah. Last season they played well together. They didn't really get to play really that much together, but when they did, due to like them both being injured at different times, but they're connected so well this season. Their stats between them for assists and goals is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and like I say, Son in the interview afterwards, Son and Kane, they're both saying that their partnership's only growing, and they like to have it off the pitch and on the pitch. Yeah, which is only going to grow in their confidence on the pitch. Yeah, I hope it's a very good relationship that they've got.
Then we had a bit of handbags. Martial and Lamela had a bit of a tiff. If I'm honest, Martial's was a red card, but if he goes, Lamela's got to go.
Yeah, I think Lamela's got to go in that situation as well.
He's a shithouse, isn't he, Lamela?
Yeah.
He's one of them people. He just loves winding people up. He reminds me of players like Diego Costa. He's a shithouse. He'll like, on a corner stand on your toes. Do you know what I mean? Like,
he'll do anything to ruffle your feathers.
But that's what Lamela's like. That's why a lot of Tottenham fans like Lamela. he's like Marmite with a lot of Tottenham fans. But after that, I think a lot of them will be liking him more after what he did.
That's what I mean. He's got the reaction that he wanted.
Yeah.
That's all he wanted.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when Lamella's put his arm up, Martial sort of grabbed it. So I don't know if they've looked at that, because Martial sort of helped it up, whether it was intentionally or not. He sort of tried pulling his arm away, and that's how he's connected with him.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they've looked at Lamella and not done anything about it.
Because he only got a yellow, didn't he?
Yeah, but Martial was like a lashback.
Like a slap.
And you can't do that.
How slow did he go down though?
Yeah.
To be fair, most people would have hit the deck well quick, but I don't know, he went down so. Then he was waiting for the ref to look, and he was like slow motion going to the floor. But yeah, that was.
So I think he's took that and then realised he can get something out of it here, so he's gone to the floor just so they do look at it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't go to the floor in that situation, they might not look at it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. United try and play it out from the back. Spurs players closed them down. Matic got caught with the ball. Son puts it on a plate for Kane, puts it in the bottom corner. He's never going to miss from there, Kane.
No, he's a clinical finisher.
Poor from De Gea and their defence again, really.
I think De Gea, I'm surprised that they've kept him in the United squad.
Yeah, to be fair, I thought they'd have brought in, what's his name?
Henderson,
that's it. Because he didn't go back on loan to Sheffield United, which I thought he would. And then Sheffield United signed, is it Ramsdale?
Ramsdale, yeah.
And so I thought that especially after how poor he was at the start of the season, like the first couple of games, De Gea, I thought you've got to give Henderson. He had a great season last year with Sheffield United. He had an amazing season.
Yeah, he did, yeah. I say he's a very good keeper, and they've put him in the cup games, and he's proven himself.
Yeah.
And De Gea's not doing anything about it to try and fight for that place.
No.
Well, he might be, but he's not showing it on the pitch.
I agree with you there. Son then scores with a lovely little flick through De Gea's legs to make it 4-1 at the near post.
Yeah, you think, after it started getting a bit bad on the scoreline, you would have thought Man United might try to do something about it and stick to these players 2-on-1 men. But they just still look lost. I know they had a man sent off, and it always makes it hard after that, but
I think he's a striker though as well.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter that much. If it was a defender, you can understand, but all you're going to do is not play with a striker.
Most of the time they say it's hard to play against 10 men.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
Man United didn't prove that.
They just literally fell apart, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just physicality wise, against most teams, they just haven't looked up to it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Serge Aurier with Spurs 5th drills it into the far bottom corner. That's an all right finish for Serge.
A brilliant goal. You can tell it meant a lot for him as well. The way he celebrated.
Surprised they've kept him, but I think he's probably having his best season for Tottenham this year under Mourinho. He had a pretty bad couple of seasons under Poch, but the thing with Aurier, he's good at bombing forward, but he can't tackle. To me, he's not a defender. He's more of a winger.
Yeah, he does not going down that wing.
If you see him running at you know he's going to clean you out and you're getting a penalty. So that's the only thing with Aurier. But I think he's getting better under Mourinho this year.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, it just goes back to that sort of thing. Do you play for the manager?
So Paul Pogba had a pretty bad game. I kept watching Pogba during the game because my mate's a United fan and he hates Pogba and he always rants on about how poor he is. So I watched him during the game and he was woeful. And then he took out Ben Davies. I don't know why he even slid in when Ben Davies, because Ben Davies already passed the ball, and then Ben Davies, to be fair, probably could have jumped over Pogba. But when you've committed like that, you're always going to go down.
I was about to say, you're always going to go down. You're always going to look for the free kick. You're always going to look to maybe see if you can get red carded.
Yeah.
Being a professional player, seeing someone coming like that, you're going to try to use it to your ability.
Yeah, definitely. And then Kane smashes in his second and Spurs 6th. And then towards the end of the game, Luke Shaw hacks down Lucas Moura with no intention of going for the ball. Me personally thought that was a red card.
Definitely a red card, 100%.
Even Gary Neville was saying that is a red card. So I don't know how that is a yellow card, because he could have caused any sort of damage to Lucas Moura.
He'd released the ball. He'd long released the ball, and he's looked down at his legs.
Yeah,
he's looked at him and gone for it.
Yeah, that was. There could have been a few more red cards. I don't know. It's just what other people's opinion. Paul Pogba caught Højbjerg on the hamstring. Yeah. To me, I don't think that was a red. I think it was just he'd gone for the ball. When you look at it slow motion, it looks worse. But
yeah,
I think that was. It was just one of them where he went for the ball myself. And the other one was Bailly stepped on Kane's Achilles. It looked intentional, but you don't know whether it was or not. You can't only buy you will know whether he
meant to or not. Yeah. But no, definitely that one at the end. That is 100% got to be a red card.
Got to be a red,
Yeah.
Right, next up is Everton. Brighton finished 4-2 to Everton. Everton came out flying in that game.
Everton have been flying since the start of the season.
Yeah.
Look very, very positive this season.
I don't know what Ancelotti's given them players, but they're just... I know Everton, some seasons you watch Everton and they look really good, and then they just bum out at the end of the season or towards the end of the season and end up finishing their normal 6th, 7th or 8th. But this season they look
consistent this season.
Yeah, they look very good this season. Calvert-Lewin yet again scored, 9th goal of the season, header at the back post, no one marking him.
He just looks unreal this season. I mean, for someone that wasn't a striker at the start, I think he was playing in midfield, and he was trying to prove himself as a striker, trying to get ahead. A bit like Walcott for Everton. He wanted to play as a striker. Arsenal tried it, he couldn't get through. Calvert-Lewin wanted to try being a striker, and just look where he's at now. Yeah,
it's paid off, definitely. I kept saying last week and the week before that he should have had he should have an England call up, and he's got his England call up.
Yeah, he's got it now. Yeah,
which is rightly deserved. I think he's going to be really. He's young as well. He's going to be a really good player, I think.
Yeah, so, I mean, if he sticks to it, if he can just stick it out and stay with Everton with a couple more seasons, I think a lot of players will, after this season, having Calvert-Lewin's goals, if he carries on going the way he is, a lot of them would leave.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the wrong decision.
Yeah,
because you go elsewhere and you don't...
stalls their career a bit, don't it?
He's playing well with this team. If they can keep this team, this is a team that can push for that top four. Whether they do that this season or not, I don't think so. But this is the sort of team, if they carry on with this sort of team, add a few additions in there, they could potentially be pushing for first place.
Definitely. I think even if they were to get Europa League, he'd stay because this is his boyhood club. But also he's playing in Europe. I think if you go a bit too early, sometimes if you go for big money, there's a lot of pressure, and you can flop really, or the pressure can just get to you, and then you end up, well, it just goes downhill for you. So I hope he stays for a good few years if he does decide to move on.
Yeah, I hope he stays as well.
Maupay scored from a tap in after Jordan Pickford fumbled the ball.
Yeah, Pickford, I don't know what's going on with him.
He's a lunatic, isn't he?
Yeah,
I love watching him, but I don't. He really frustrates me. But he just runs around like a nutter on the pitch, and he's screaming at people. I don't know how he's England's number one myself.
He was very good. He had that little stint with England, and that was it. That's all there was to him. And then he went for big money to Everton, and since then it's just been downhill.
Yeah.
The amount of mess ups that he makes. If that Everton team put a solid keeper in goal, they would concede so many less. Pickford is the mistake for most of their goals.
So he could be the one thing that could ruin their season this year, Pickford,
100%.
because you know he's always there for a mistake. At least once a game, he'll drop a clanger somewhere.
Yeah, he's been proving it every week.
Yeah,
I think he's given away at least one every week.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the guy.
So they call him T-Rex, don't they?
Do they?
Yeah, T-Rex, little arms.
Mina scored with a header after Rodriguez crossed the ball in. No one really challenged Mina, surprisingly, because they've got some really tall players as well, Brighton. You think someone would have
they have got some massive centre backs.
Yeah, I don't know why no one marked him. James Rodriguez scored with a tap in at the back post for his second goal.
Yeah, very good signing for Everton.
Yeah, he looks like a decent player, doesn't he? Free transfer as well. He's a steal, he is.
He's adapted very well. A lot of players will come into that sort of team.
Yeah.
Find it hard. I've seen in the past.
A lot of people thought he was a striker. I thought he was a striker. Like a number 10, but I think he's more, or number 9, he's more of a player that likes to build it up, like pings balls around the pitch.
Yeah.
You know, like sort of just in sort of midfieldish sort of.
Bit of a playmaker.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a great season this year.
I think he will as well. Like I say, he's adapted very well. Being this early in the season, it can only get better.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's going to help Everton with their push up the league this year. Towards the end of the game, Brighton had 2 good chances after some sloppy passing from Everton. Maybe should have scored them, but they got the win. And Basuma scored a Bit of a banger, really.
Yeah, what a hit that was.
Yeah, chest and then just banged it in a bit too late.
Yeah, a bit
Brighton,
too late, but I think he'll walk away happy with that goal.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous strike, that.
So where do you think Everton are going to finish this season?
I mean, at the moment, they're flying with it. I reckon they'll probably drop out, maybe 5th or 6th, and that'll probably be it. I just say I can't see them getting top 4, although they are flying at the moment. I think they're just going to start falling down. A lot of teams had a bad start, and they're going to start picking up.
So they're not going to win the league?
No,
okay.
No chance.
Next up, Chelsea Palace, 4-0 Chelsea. It wasn't a great first half of football, to be fair. There weren't many chances from either team.
No, it looked very slow. Both teams were slow to get into the game, I thought.
Yeah, Chelsea have been like that. Well, they were like that against West Brom last week.
Yeah.
Obviously, they went 3-0 down, didn't they, against West Brom. In the first half, they were awful. For some reason, they just can't get into the game in the first half or quick enough to do anything.
I say they've got a very good team, but
yeah.
If you look at the players individually, it's just how they're working as a team. I think there's a lot of pressure on them and Frank Lampard as a manager, bringing in all these top signings, big money spending. But it's not about bringing all these players in. You see Fulham do it a few seasons ago.
Yeah.
Spent over 100 million, went down.
Straight back down.
You can spend all this money on all these great players, but you've got to put them together as a team, and they've got to play in the right positions. I mean, Chelsea have got a few people out at the moment, so they're having to play some of their players out of positions. But hopefully when some of them players come back and they can actually put it into a formation and work well as a team, then maybe it'll go in the right direction for them. But very slow at the moment.
I think as well, because they've brought in quite a few new players, they need to play more. They need to gel, don't they?
Yeah.
They're not really. And with they missed Ben Chilwell missed a couple of games, didn't he?
Yeah.
And is it Ziyech?
Yeah.
He's out injured. Once he comes back, I think once they get a few of their players back and they start playing more and more games, I think they'll kick on Chelsea.
Yeah, they've got the team to do it, and Frank Lampard is a good manager.
Yeah.
He can get them playing to the best of their abilities.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's just going to take a little while to get that chemistry between the players.
Yeah.
So I say it'd be interesting to see how they do pan out though.
There was an awful mistake from Sacco for the Ben Chilwell goal. Chilwell goal. I don't know why he didn't just smash it out of play. It's like he went to kick it and then he thought, no, I don't want to kick it, and then sort of sliced it and the ball got knocked back.
But I say it's very poor.
Yeah, Sacco had an absolute shocker, didn't he?
Yeah. I think he's a bit hit and miss player, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't rate him when he was at Liverpool, to be fair.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was good enough to play for Liverpool. It was poor marking from him for Zuma's goal, and then when Chelsea get a penalty, Jorginho puts it in.
Yeah, he's another one that takes the penalties a bit.
And then Sacco again took out Tammy Abraham for another penalty for Chelsea, and I just didn't understand what Sacco was doing in that game.
Like I say, Sacco's a bit of a hit and miss player, and he's very rational with his challenges. And with the second penalty, I mean, Abraham went down for it, but I don't know if you've seen it. The Abraham and Jorginho, they were fighting over it.
Who should take it?
Yeah.
I know Abraham looked pretty pissed off that he couldn't take it, didn't he? But when you've got a dedicated penalty taker,
you can't go changing things. You're a professional level, professional team. I know you want the goal and you've won it. Yeah. But it's not like a Sunday team where you go, if I win it, I have it.
That's not the first time. Obviously, I think last season there was a few.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Tottenham. Some players were scrapping. Well, not scrapping, but they were arguing
over a penalty.
I'm sure there was another team. It might have been Chelsea again, to be fair. That they were.
I say you see it in a few teams, but if you've got a penalty taker, then just leave it as that.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, you're at a professional level. You've got a routine. That's what you practice on the training ground.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it to that.
Yeah, it's just sometimes you just look a bit greedy and selfish when you're trying to do things like that, and and Jorginho scored again. Made it 4-0. Comfortable win for Frank and Chelsea. They looked a lot better in the second half. Palace were just awful. They had 2 shots in the game overall and not one on target, which is pretty poor for them.
Yeah, it's pretty poor for them. I thought they would give a lot more in that game, especially with a slow start in the first half. I thought it was there for the taking.
Yeah.
Chelsea have come out second half, all guns blazing again like they did the other week.
Yeah. Right, next up we'll go your team, Newcastle, against Burnley. 3-1 winners. Newcastle, I thought they'd beat Burnley, to be fair. Burnley are one of them teams where most people turn them over.
Yeah, Burnley, like I say, they're one of them teams. They can also be hit and miss. They're very good defensively normally. They've got a decent goalkeeper, and they normally hold teams to a draw. They don't get many wins, but they can normally stick out for a draw.
They've got 2 bruisers up the top as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Wood and Barnes. They just love battering defenders and stuff. But
So they don't look like goal scorers when they're on the ball, but
no.
they just seem to get them.
Yeah. Well, Pope from the early outset, 4 minutes, got chased down by Wilson, and it nearly ended up with a goal.
Yeah, I say Wilson's that sort of player. He brings that to the Newcastle team. He'll work hard. He'll chase down. He's quick.
He's a runner, isn't he? He'll just run for the team. Wilson. He's a good player. He's a great signing, Wilson. I thought he'd have gone to one of the, maybe not saying he wouldn't have gone to Newcastle, but there was a few teams that were after him. So it was good to see who he was going to go to, because I know Villa were after him.
Yeah, he turned down Villa. Yeah.
Spurs were linked with him. I think there was another team in the Prem that was linked with him, and then Newcastle, and then...
Yeah, well, can't remember if it was his dad or his granddad, was a Newcastle fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, passed away not long ago. Sort of probably helped the decision being a Newcastle fan. Probably wanted to make him proud. And I know he was actually talking with Alan Shearer.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, before he went up there, he was talking to Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer was persuading him.
Legend.
I know Steve Bruce spoke to Alan Shearer and said, let's try to get this deal done.
Well, it worked, didn't it?
Yeah.
Should get Alan Shearer broker every deal. St Maximin scored.
Yeah, great player, St Maximin. He's had a few injuries recently.
Good goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant goal.
Sort of went one way, went back, and then put it through his legs into the bottom corner.
No, he's gone back. He's gone back again, and he's just sort of bent it around
Bent
the player.
around his leg, yeah.
Yeah, just round the leg on the on the defender's leg, round the back of it, hit the post, clipped in.
If he can stay fit, you'll have a good season this year, I think.
That's the thing with him. He's one of them players, a bit like Traore. He does a lot of running. He can weave in and out of the players, but them sort of players are always going to get the nicks.
Yeah, how many times did he get kicked against Burnley? I think they were just going for his ankles.
Yeah, as I say, a lot of teams are like that because they can't keep up with him. They will just sort of take them swipes. But with Maximin, he just seems to get injured from them. If he's going to play like that, he needs to sort of get a bit stronger, I think.
Just work on his ankles. Yeah, at the gym.
Bit of ankle workout.
Yeah. Sean Dyche was moaning it was a foul in the build-up. Never a foul for me. Guy needs to just get on the weights, I think.
I don't think that was a foul.
No, not at all. Guy just... I think he was waiting for the bloke to come in and then just sort of loosened his body so it looked like he got wiped out. But it was never a foul.
I say I've seen worse than that not given, so...
Yeah. Ashley Barnes scored for Burnley, but he was offside. He was moaning that he weren't, but he was definitely offside. And then second half, Newcastle... When I was watching, you could tell they just sort of come out, and I don't know whether they were just sitting back resting, and it was all Burnley, but they just seemed really slow, didn't they, Newcastle?
Yeah, I don't know why they like to do that. As soon as they'll get one goal up, even when they're not one goal up, we like to play from the back. And with the players, I mean, last season you could see why we would do that, because of the players that we had. But with some of the players that we've got now, we should be attacking football.
Yeah.
But Bruce likes to play from the back and just stick either Joe Linton or... Like now we've got Wilson, they like to stick him at the front.
Yeah.
So we got that 1-0 lead, and Bruce just thinks that's it, that's our game, we've won. And he'll sit back. And he'll just try to hit people on the counter, but that's not always going to work. You can't just have one man, no matter who you are, how good you are a striker, you can't just have one man that sits up there.
Yeah. But it worked out for Burnley because Westwood drilled it into the far corner, didn't he? Made it 1-0, and I think that sort of woke Newcastle players up a bit.
Yeah, it was a very good goal as well.
And he sort of, it was a good goal. They must have thought, oh shit, we're back to drawing.
Yeah.
And then Maximin with a great run, skinned Taylor, pulled it across, face of goal, and Wilson had a tap in.
Yeah, it's a lovely bit of play to the lead up to it.
Yeah.
Maximin putting it across, assisting
him,
one goal, assisting one goal and scoring one goal.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's how we should play. That is how Newcastle should play.
Yeah.
They've got Fraser, they're on Fraser.
He's quick as well, isn't he? If you had him and Maximin either side and Wilson up top, deadly that is, you know what I mean?
That's what I mean, we should play a bit more attacking football. We've got Jamal Lewis that is a bit of a wing back. He's fast.
Yeah.
He can support up top. You've got Wilson that can get in there.
Yeah.
You've got the option of Carroll. He hasn't had a great start. If you've got two fast wingers that can whip it in, Carroll's there, he can get the headers.
He's about 12 foot tall, isn't he? So he'll just nod it down. Pope, you thought he'd have learnt from the start of the game when Wilson chased him down, wouldn't you? He took a poor touch and then he just absolutely cleaned out Fraser. At first, I thought he got the ball. from the angle when you look at it. And then when they showed the replay, he was nowhere near the ball. And he was, I don't know what he was moaning about, because it was a clear penalty. All day that was a penalty.
I rate Pope highly. Very good keeper. But that game, he had a bit of a shocker. 2 errors, the first one nearly leading to a goal, second one leading to a goal. Fraser nearly tapping it in anyway, but clear as daylight penalty. He couldn't do anything else but take him down.
And Wilson for his second goal. It's 4 goals in 4 games for Wilson now.
Very clinical.
It was a good penalty as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good penalty.
Straight down the middle, but
yeah.
Right, Leeds, Manchester City, 1-1. Thought it'd be an interesting game, to be fair, from the start. A lot of people, I put a poll out on Facebook or Instagram just asking what would be the entertaining game of the weekend. A few people said Leeds Man City. I thought it'd be a lot more high scoring than what it was, but
yeah, I thought it'd be high scoring. Man City like to press, so do Leeds. You've seen that in their first few games, and Leeds, also like to concede a few.
Yeah, they're not shy of conceding a few goals.
Exactly. So I thought there was going to be a lot more goals in that, but.
Well, I thought they were going to concede early on when De Bruyne caught the keeper out. That free kick when he hit the post. I thought it was a bit cheeky, really, with that shot. No one expected him to do that, did they?
No one expected him to do that. Like Kevin De Bruyne, very good player.
Yeah, he is.
He can pick out a pass, he can hit the net, and he also can defend.
They nearly scored again, City, but Dallas produced a block to deny City. I think it might have been Sterling who shot.
Yeah, Sterling, yeah.
Then the Leeds goalkeeper just pinged the ball out. Mendy went straight to Mendy, and then great work from Sterling when he went to the left, cut across, bent it to the bottom right hand corner. It was good how he worked it round onto his right and across the box to get it in.
Yeah, we've seen him do that a few times. He's
it's an identical goal. He scores that quite a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does like to cut in. He normally runs it down the wing first, and then he'll cut in. But he gets a lot of goals like that. Defenders can't seem to catch him when he's like that, and it's very dangerous to give away a penalty.
Stuart Dallas and Luke Ayling had a chance to score for Leeds, but nothing came of it. I think Mendy had a poor touch and Ayling got in and Ederson saved. Maybe he should have scored, but it could have made it 1-1, to be fair.
It could have made it 1-1, but I think with this Leeds team, it was very good going forward, don't get me wrong, but it's a lack of confidence. I think being in the Premier League, a lot of pressure on them. Yeah. I think the players will feel that, especially against a team like Man City. Yeah. They will feel that pressure massively. Well,
Rodrigo came on, he hit the bar, and then they had a corner, and then he scored.
Yeah, he's a great signing.
Yeah. I remember hearing he played for, was it Bolton? I'm sure I see a stat might have been on Match of the Day, that come up saying that's his first goal in the Prem since 2011. He last scored against Wigan for Bolton. So he looks young as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he is young.
He's like 9 years
player,
ago.
But they've been trying to play him out on the wing. In previous teams, they've been putting him out on the wing.
Yeah, he was at Valencia, weren't he?
Putting him out on the wing. But he's a natural goal scorer. Yeah, he's proven it with a few teams that he's been at when he's played up front.
Well, he looked all right, to be fair, after that. When he was making some good runs. He could be one to watch this season.
I mean, I was surprised that Leeds signed him.
Yeah, was it big money?
Yeah, it was. I think they've spent 75 million.
Have they?
In this transfer? Yeah.
They're not going to do a Fulham, are they? Nah, spend all that money and go down.
Fulham brought in about 12 players.
Ederson makes a good save, pushes the ball onto the crossbar. I can't think who had a shot. Someone had a shot from outside the box. Just before that, he made a few mistakes, and he flapped at the ball. And I think luckily they recovered from it. But I don't know if he's been watching videos of Jordan Pickford, but he's a decent goalkeeper, though, isn't he?
I don't think anyone wants to be watching Pickford for goalie training.
Sterling went 1-on-1 with the keeper and sort of fell over. I think he left the ball behind and then ran into the keeper. Could have put it 2-1.
So he's only had one goal this season in the Premier League, obviously coming in this game. I thought once he got that goal, I thought he might have been away with it in that game, but just hasn't come for him.
He was flying last year as well, weren't he, Sterling? Man City had 2 penalty claims, one for a handball. Someone had a shot, Davis flew in to block it. His arm was behind him, hit his arm. You've seen him given.
Yeah, I think last week or 2 weeks ago that had been given.
Yeah.
But they've since come together and said they're going to be more lenient on it. And the referees make the final decision on them sort of things. Because, I mean, there's been a lot of controversial ones, but like I say, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, that had been given.
Yeah, I've seen a lot.
Like the Eric Dyer one, weren't it?
Yeah, the Eric Dyer, Matt Doherty,
Yeah.
Lindelof. There's been a lot where they weren't handball, but they've been given. But then there's some that have been handball, worse than what, like that, and
Yeah.
they haven't been given. I mean, there's no consistency, I don't think, with,
That's what I mean. It needs
with
to be
what's
clear.
going on. Yeah.
It needs to be clear and stay to it.
The second penalty was Sterling said he got pushed, but I
think he was looking for that.
I think so as well. But other than that, it was a very entertaining game.
It was very entertaining. End-to-end stuff. Sort of game you like to watch. Just lacked in the goals.
Yeah, good for the neutral, that one. Right, we'll do Leicester West Ham next. 3-0 West Ham. Wasn't expecting that, seeing that Leicester were flying. 3 games, 3 wins.
Yeah, West Ham had a bit of a poor start, losing 2-0 Newcastle.
Yeah.
But and then since then they've actually looked alright.
Well, since David Moyes has been at home, they've won, haven't they?
The last 2 games.
Quite
been at
convincingly as well. Yeah, you'd think they'd stay at home every week and just tell the assistant what to do by
home. So maybe
by
that's
phone.
what needs to happen.
Yeah. Maybe the West Ham hierarchy are looking at it thinking, well, we'll just sack Moyes now and we'll just keep the guy who's in charge. There was awful defending for the first goal. Antonio with a header at the back stick. It was pretty poor. I don't think the closest person to him was Soyuncu, and even he was just ball watching.
Yeah, but I think there was all ball watching.
Yeah.
No one was looking where the players were.
Literally watched the ball go over their heads,
and
didn't
they
they?
just watched him head it in.
Yeah. Fornells, to me, looked offside at first. Because you couldn't see where he started, he looked like he was halfway in the air, in the Leicester half when the ball was played. But when you actually look back, he was onside.
Yeah, he was onside, yeah.
It was good, cool, calm finish as well to make it 2-0. And then Declan Rice had a great run. I kept thinking he's going to pass it, he'll pass it. And then he just went all the way, smashed it, hit the bar and came back out.
I was quite surprised he hit the bar from there. I thought he was going to smash it over or smash it.
I thought you were going to say
into the
smash it in.
stadium. No, I didn't think he was going to score. He struggles to get goals at the moment, isn't he? So
Yeah, to be fair, he had against Newcastle, he had a shocker against
he
Newcastle.
did. I think he was playing for us that game.
I think I hammered him as well on the pod against Newcastle. But to be fair, he deserved it. He had a shit game, so. But he played really well yesterday against Leicester.
Yeah, he had a very good game.
Yeah.
He is a good player, but recently he's just been out of form. He's just been his passes have been woeful.
Yeah. Bowen scored West Ham's third with a tidy finish.
Yeah, Bowen, very good player as well.
So did you get 2 last week, didn't he?
Yeah, he's sort of a game changer.
Is that 3 and 2 now?
Yeah, 3 and 2, yeah.
Barnes scored for Leicester. Some nice 1-2s on the edge of the box and a good finish, but it was ruled out correctly for offside.
Yeah, it was a great decision offside.
It was only just, to be fair. I thought they were saying before that they're not going to do it on like a toenail hair, like they have been. Like last season, there was a few ruled out for that. And that was tight. That was really tight, but it was the correct decision. He was offside.
But I say now they've changed it, haven't they? So it has to be part of the body that you can score with.
Yeah.
So if your hand's offside or whatever, like it was last season where they'd give it off, it's not anymore, which is obviously the right decision to do.
Yeah. And then West Ham looked pretty good, to be fair. I thought they looked all right, West Ham.
Yeah, they're looking very good now. Antonio can score the goals. He can also hold it up, and the pace he's got. I didn't realise the man had so much pace.
They normally play him on the wing, don't they?
Yeah.
Like last season, I think season 4, they were playing him on the wing, and since they've been playing him sort of up top, he just runs the channels, doesn't he? He's a good player. He should get a call up soon.
Yeah.
Does he play for England or does he play for?
I think he's a bit past it for England.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Leicester. What do you think? Think they'll do all right this year, or?
Don't know. I think they're one of the teams that you can't really tell with at the moment. They can be such a good team, but then like they've just showed against West Ham.
Well, look how good they were last year, and then when it comes to the restart, they just bottled it, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they were they third, near enough all season last year, and then they ended up finishing 5th, and I don't know why. I don't know what happened to it, but they just bottled it in the end.
That's what I mean. They're a team that can just switch it on, but then they can also lose it as well.
Yeah. Arsenal, Sheffield United finished 2-1 Arsenal. Should David Luiz have been sent off for the pull on his shirt? He looked to me like he was the last man. Personally,
yeah, he's the last man. He's got to go.
He's got to go. There was Sheffield United player a few weeks ago. He got sent off for near enough the same thing, pulling on Ollie Watkins.
So if you're the last man and you've stopped it, you've got to go.
Yeah, he's got to go for that all day. That was a red card. They had some good chances in the first half, Arsenal, to score, but nothing came of it. There was a tackle from Berg on Aubameyang. He followed through after getting the ball on his ankle. It was pretty, when you watch it in slow motion, it was pretty naughty, to be fair.
Yeah.
He could have done some damage to Aubameyang. Do you think it was a red?
I don't think it was a red. I think it was a very, very harsh red. Because I don't think it was intentional.
No, I think
It's just the follow through on it, which looked very rough.
Yeah, I think so too. And then Arsenal scored. Saka with a header. It was a nice build-up play.
Yeah, nice build-up play and very, very good header.
Yeah, he's just been called up to England as well. Yeah.
I think rightly so as well.
Yeah, he's a good young player, he is. Pepe scored with a decent finish from outside the box, posting in.
Yeah, you've seen him do a few of them as well. He's another one of them sort of just scores the same sort of goals, but very good
He
player.
goes on and off though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Pepe is. They spent a lot of money on him as well. Was it 72 million or something?
Yeah, they spent a lot of money on him. Like I say, he's just someone that can have a really, really good game. But then the next game, he can just be woeful, as if he's not even on the pitch.
Disappears, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Goes AWOL. McGoldrick then hit a decent strike into the far corner. Good goal from McGoldrick.
Yeah, I think you'd be pleased with that one.
Yeah.
Very good goal from him.
Sheffield United have been pretty shit this year, haven't they?
Yeah, they're a very good team, and they're very consistent normally. But something about them this season, don't feel like they're going to have that sort of consistent season where they're pushing up in the top 8 almost.
No, I think they're going to struggle. I think they'll be fighting relegation, I think, this year.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think there's something's gone wrong for them. I don't know what it is, but they ain't won a game this season, Sheffield United.
I know, which is very poor from them.
Yeah.
The standards that they've set.
Arsenal looked alright though.
Arsenal look good.
Yeah. Southampton, West Brom, 2-0 Southampton. Southampton started the game well. Danny Ings and Che Adams both probably should have scored early on. I think the keeper saved both of them. It's a good save. And then Ings had a header that was saved by Johnson. That was a really good save.
Yeah, that was a beautiful save, that was.
Yeah. Then Gineppo scores for the Saints. Lovely feet on the edge of the box. It was a bit like Saint Maximin with his went one way, went the other, put it in. And Romeo, that volley, when I first watched it from the corner, I thought it come off his shin or something.
Yeah.
It looked weird how he managed to get his leg up and hit the ball. When you actually see it, it was a great goal.
It was a very good goal.
Yeah.
That hit, you could tell how happy he was. I think that was 50 games since he's had a goal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 50 starts since he's had a goal for Southampton. And to score it like that, I think he'd be pleased with that one.
Yeah, I'd be pleased with that as well. West Brom looked awful. I have called when I said who I think will go down. I put West Brom in there. They've just been poor from the outset. Well. I like their manager, Slaven Bilic. He's a good manager, but West Brom to me are one of them teams that they come up and they go straight back down again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're not good enough for the Premier League. They're like a Norwich. No, I said it last year. Norwich not good enough for the Prem. No matter who you buy, they're just one of them teams that you know are going to go straight back down again.
Yeah, West Brom, they lack in the confidence of team play. Everything that to stay in the Premier League, they lack with it.
Yeah.
They say no matter who you bring in, it's just not going to change.
Yeah, I agree. And the last game is Wolves-Fulham, 1-0 Wolves. All first half, really, there weren't a lot going on. Arella made a great double save for Wolves. Otherwise, it was a pretty boring first half.
Yeah, I think these are two teams that are struggling at the moment. Wolves, I'm very surprised that they're struggling, but Fulham Wolves, I didn't really expect much of the game, to be honest with you.
No, I thought, to be fair, I thought Wolves might have put more past Fulham, but Jimenez probably should have scored when he went through on goal, but keeper saved it, and then Neto smashes the ball into the back of the net to make it 1-0.
Good goal as well.
Yeah, it was a good hit. Kamara had a chance for Fulham, but hit it straight at the keeper. He probably should have buried that.
Yeah, where Mitro put it across to him.
Yeah.
That
should
have scored.
Who? Kamara? Yeah. In that position, you got to score, really.
I mean,
there was no one anywhere near him either.
He should have got the ball a little bit earlier, but just the way he took it.
Mitrovic, to be fair, probably could have had a shot and scored himself, because he's pretty deadly, Mitrovic.
Kamara's rushed it, no one around him, and he's just turned and tried shooting straight away.
Yeah.
He could have took one more touch and then maybe opened his body up a bit more to put it into the corner.
Yeah, I agree with you there, because that was poor from Kamara. Fulham only conceded the one this week, which I was surprised, really. That's good for them, I guess. And
yeah,
Wolves,
it's good for them. But
Only scoring one. They've got the 3 points, but that's poor on Wolves'.
yeah, would you be happy with that if you're a Wolves fan?
No.
Going 1-0 against Fulham.
With the way they've been playing, though.
Yeah, so it's the 3 points, but I
Yeah.
mean, in general, with Wolves' how they've started off in this season, I mean, put them against Fulham last season, that could have been 4 or 5-0.
Which is a boring game, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a boring game overall.
Yeah.
Wasn't much to it.
No. We've got an international break now. 2 weeks off. Merseyside derby is the first game. Saturday the 17th of October at Goodison Park. Everton, Liverpool.
Well, the way Liverpool played last time, I mean, they need to put in a shift against Everton, but I reckon 3-2 Everton.
Nice. I'm going to go for a 3-3 draw. We then have Chelsea, Southampton at the Bridge.
I reckon 3-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, I can see this being quite comfortable for Chelsea. I'm going to go 4-0. Next up is Leicester, Aston Villa at the King Power.
Tough game this one, I think, with Aston Villa just coming out from that. I reckon 2-1 Leicester.
Yeah, I think I'll go 2-1 Leicester as well. Your lot, Newcastle against Manchester United at St James's Park. You've got to be confident after that.
I'm very confident against Man United the way they're playing at the moment. I know they might have Cavani in their team, but I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle.
You don't think they're going to come out and think, right, we're going to take it out on Newcastle after that?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they do turn up against Newcastle, but I'm still going to go 2-1 Newcastle.
Yeah, I will go for a 2-2 draw, as you're a Newcastle fan, I guess. Next up is Sheffield United against Fulham.
I think Sheffield United, although they had a great start, I reckon they're going to ease through this. I think this will be their starting point, 3-0 Sheffield United.
Okay, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. West Brom at the Hawthorns against Burnley.
I think this is going to be a West Brom. I mean, they don't look great, but they have got some good finishers. But against Burnley, they like to sit back. I reckon 1-0 Burnley.
I will go... Oh, it's a tough one, that. Can't see that being a very entertaining game, if I'm honest with you, but after I've said that, it probably will end up being a massive high-scoring game. I'm going to go for a 2-1 West Brom. And last game on the Saturday is Manchester City against Arsenal at the Etihad.
I'm going to go 3-2 Arsenal.
Ooh, yeah. Do you know what? I think City, they're not playing well at the minute. I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal win. And then on the Sunday, the 18th, we have Crystal Palace against Brighton at Selhurst Park.
I think Brighton will take this one 2-0. 2-0 Brighton.
Okay, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Crystal Palace. And then we have a London derby, Spurs against West Ham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
I think this one will be 3-1 Spurs.
Yeah, I can see this being 4 or 5-0 to Tottenham. And then the Monday, we have Leeds United against Wolves at Elland Road.
Now, the way Leeds are playing and the way Wolves are playing, this could be a good game for Leeds. I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-2 to Leeds. Right, 3 questions coming up.
Okay.
First manager to be sacked?
I wouldn't have said this at the start of the season, but I'm going to go with Scott Parker, Fulham.
Okay, who do you said at the start?
At the start, I probably would have said, although I'm a Newcastle fan, I probably would have said Steve Bruce.
Right, okay.
Just because of bringing in these players, I thought maybe they would want another manager to come in, like Eddie Howe is available.
Yeah.
Obviously I know we've got the Bournemouth players, but I thought they would like someone like him to use his attacking style.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would have been Bruce at the start, but now Scott Parker. I don't think Fulham want to be in the same situation again where they go back down.
Okay.
I think they need to make a change.
3 teams to be relegated.
At this moment in time, without the managers changing, I reckon Fulham, West Brom. Then I'd probably have to go. I would like to say Aston Villa. I'm going to stick with it, Aston Villa.
In that order?
Yeah.
20th?
Yeah.
Onwards, yeah? Okay, and top 4, 4th to 1st.
I think top 4 will probably go Liverpool top. Now I'd like to say Chelsea 2nd, Man City 3rd, Tottenham 4th.
Okay, I'll take that. And top goal scorer at the end of the season, who's getting the golden boot?
Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah?
Yeah, the way he's going, can't see him missing out on that.
Yeah, to be fair, I'd say Kane or Son, but I'm just biased. So. Well, that's it this week. Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Big thank you to Keegan for joining me.
It's okay, thank you for having me.
Each Thursday, join me with new guests, new matches, and a whole load of Premier League talk. If you never want to miss another episode, click subscribe now. It's totally free, and this way you will always stay updated. All our other social media sites can be found underneath as well. Any questions you want us to answer in next week's show, send them to either Facebook or Instagram. Stay safe and see you next week.